Hey guys, welcome back to That Magic Guy. I'm so glad you're here because today we're diving into something truly special. This isn't just another card trick tutorial. This is David Blaine's self-working card trick. Now, here's the thing. This is one of those tricks that is so simple to do, yet so unbelievably powerful that it blows people's minds. If it's good enough for David Blaine to perform for real spectators, then trust me, it's good enough for you too. What makes this routine so cool is that it sits in this perfect sweet spot. It's self-working, meaning you don't have to master years of sleight of hand or spend hours practicing difficult moves, but it still delivers reactions like you've just performed a miracle. And I'll tell you something even funnier. When Blaine performed and then explained this trick, you could see people's reactions. Even after he explained it, they were still scratching their heads, totally confused about how it actually worked. Imagine that. You get fooled by the performance, then you get fooled a second time, even during the explanation. That's when you know a trick is golden. Now, I noticed that a lot of people in the comments of Blaine's performance were saying things like, "I don't really get it, but I'm still amazed." That's the beauty of this trick, but it's also why I decided to make today's tutorial. I want to break it down clearly, step by step, so you not only know what to do, but also why it works. We'll go through the performance, then I'll show you how the self-working method works. For the performance today, I'm using one of my all-time favorite decks, the Memento Mori. I'll drop a link in the description in case you want to check them out. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Grab a seat, grab a deck if you want to follow along, and let's take a look at the performance of David Blaine's self-working card trick. Here's how it goes. I start by mixing the cards just a little bit. Nothing crazy, just a quick shuffle to make it look fair. I want the spectators to believe that everything is completely random. So I'll give them a nice casual mix. Then I turn to my first spectator sitting on my right. I say, "Go ahead, cut off a packet of cards, less than half the deck, and hold on to it." They do exactly that. Now, they've been holding onto those cards from the very beginning. For the sake of this performance, let's keep a card box on top of this pile just to make sure I don't do anything fishy to these cards. Next, I turn to my second spectator sitting on my left. I say, "Go ahead and take out any card you like." No force, no restrictions. They can literally choose whatever card calls to them. They show that card to everyone else, making sure the whole audience is in on the secret. Everyone except me, of course. Once the card is chosen and shown, I have them put it back into the deck. And because I like to keep things fair, I even give the deck a quick shuffle right afterward, just to lose their card even deeper. Now here's where it gets fun. Remember that first spectator, the one who's been holding onto a packet of cards from the start? I asked them to deal those cards onto the table one at a time, and to stop whenever they like. Totally free choice. They can stop early, they can go further, it's completely up to them. So they start dealing. 1, 2, 3. They keep going until at some point they feel like stopping. Let's say they stop here. On the 9 of diamonds. Now I make it clear just how important that choice was. If they had stopped one card earlier, the outcome would have been totally different. If they had gone one card further, it would have been something else again. Every option leads somewhere else. But they freely stopped on the 9. And here's where the magic happens. I wave my hand over the packet, casting just a little shadow of mystery, and I say, "You chose the number 9, not me. I want you to deal down 9 cards." So they deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They flip over the 9th card, and it's their selected card, the exact one they picked earlier. It feels like pure coincidence. It feels impossible. But it works every single time. And the best part, it's completely self-working. Now that you've seen the performance, let's break down exactly how to do it. Okay, time for the secret. This trick is based on a simple but brilliant setup. All you need to do is remove some specific cards from the deck. The 4 8s and the 4 9s. That's it. Once you have those, here's what you're going to do. Shuffle these 8 cards and place them on top of the deck. Now here's something important. Just slide the top and bottom card from the deck together like this, and place it on the table. Do this 8 times, and once you are done, place the new pile on top of the remaining cards. You do this process because you want these cards to be in the odd-numbered positions of the deck. Also, if you don't want to do this sliding process, you can manually place the 8s and 9s in odd numbers from the top of the deck. So, if you count down, all the odd cards in the deck are either an 8 or a 9, all the way through the top 15 or so cards. That way, whenever a spectator deals down a packet and stops, they'll always land on either an 8 or a 9 using a magician's choice that I will explain later. That's the genius of this trick. It feels random, but it's secretly controlled by math and setup. Now let's talk performance structure. First spectator cuts off less than half the deck. Why less than half? Because that guarantees they're holding the section with the stacked 8s and 9s. If they cut too much, they might bypass the setup. By saying less than half, you keep the stacked section in play without raising suspicion. Then move on to the second spectator who chooses any card. While they're showing it around, you secretly count or push over 8 cards. This is your way of making sure their selected card ends up in the 9th position when they replace it. Also remember, there is no point in rushing this step as no one is watching you. They're focused on the chosen card. That's your golden moment to set everything up without suspicion. After they have shown the selected card around, ask them to place this card on the break and casually place the 8 cards on top of it. This is completely optional, but if you want, feel free to give the deck some false shuffles at this point, making sure the first half of the deck with their card isn't disturbed. From here, everything flows naturally. The first spectator deals down cards until they stop. You count quietly in your head so you know whether they've landed on an odd or even number. Then you simply guide them depending on whether the number is odd or even. For example, if they stop on an odd number, perfect, their card is already aligned. Turn it over to reveal the 8 or a 9. If they stop on an even number, just have them look at the card they are holding. Either way, you make sure their final number is an 8 or a 9, which leads straight to their selected card at position 9 in the other pile. And because the packet they've been dealing from is stacked with alternating 8s and 9s, the reveal feels completely random. No one suspects the hidden order. I'll also share a couple of pro tips here. Don't let them deal cards too fast. If they blaze through, you can lose track of the count. Instead, encourage them to deal slowly, 1 card at a time, almost like they're tuning into their intuition. Ask them to feel each and every card and go with their gut instinct on when they want to stop. Now simply deal down either 8 or 9 cards from the other pile, and again use the same magician's choice logic to turn over the 9th card, which will always be the spectator's chosen card. Also, if you're comfortable with false shuffles or false cuts, throw them in. They add a layer of fairness that makes the trick feel even more impossible. Blaine himself often sprinkles in small moves to keep magicians guessing. And here's the beautiful part. This trick doesn't require sleight of hand. It's all structure, psychology, and presentation. Which means anyone can learn it, and yet it still fools even experienced magicians. So there you have it. David Blaine's legendary self-working card trick. It's one of those routines that proves something I love about magic. Sometimes the simplest methods deliver the strongest reactions. People expect complicated sleight of hand, secret moves, or gimmicked decks. Instead, they get fooled by math and structure, and they don't even realize it. I highly recommend you practice this routine a few times before performing it live. Get comfortable with the setup, rehearse your patter, and practice counting silently in your head while they deal. The more confident you look, the stronger the effect becomes. And remember, the real magic isn't just in the method, it's in how you present it. Lastly, if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment below letting me know what you thought of the trick. I always love hearing your reactions and feedback. And of course, don't forget to check out my merch store at thatmagicguy.store. Link is in the description. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you all in the next video.